Somebody broke the board in there. Whose job is it to fix that? Oh, round two. Of doing a two-story closet.
Where?
In the master bedroom.
Put all your shoes up there.
Alright, so yesterday was a busy day. I had to get more hay cut and we had woodpeckers. Let's take a look and see what they got done. So their crew has been knocked down to just a few of them because several were out with health issues, but we got some of this. Someone's gonna rail me on this. I believe it's called J channel. So we've got that running up there. We got that wrapped up there. Looks really good. One of the things we noticed that was pretty nice to see is right here we have the brick molding for the store right here. Flows so well. And yeah, so both sides, it looks great. Hey, here's our porch. They also got the porch up. They got that done so fast. The only issue we have is that we're trying to find a way to spice it up to make it look a little bit nicer. So I'm not sure what we can do to kind of jazz this thing up. Eric had thought about putting some little vertical posts coming part way down just to add a little bit of visual character. But I'm really not sure because we are going with the modern 70s style simplistic type of look. I'm not sure, I'm kind of stuck. So let me know your thoughts down below on what we can do to jazz up this front porch. After looking at it and going back and forth on exactly how it should look, Eric decided that he wants to just go through and redo it. So we are going to be redoing several of the front boards to give it a little bit different appearance, give it more of a timber frame sort of look, and well, just change it up. Hopefully our builder won't be too offended. Alright, so we have some cedar stained treated wood that we're going to put on the front. And what is the dimension of these face boards?
This is 2x10.
So we're putting a 2x10 on and he's taking the 2x8 off. So he's going a little bit wider so that you get a little bit more visual pop. One of the advantages of doing it this way is that it's a little bit lighter than the timber frame version, which would be really heavy. Eric's going to go through and make some faux beams out of boards. So you can see the irregularity of that stain on here. But at least it's not green like normal treated wood would be. And then you got some more boards over there. So it gives us at least a good base. So this is kind of similar. It looks like a faded version of what we're going with right now. And this is coated in a lot of sawdust right now. So I think if we just add a little bit of a stain to pop it a little bit more, it'll look a little bit better. But it's pretty close. I mean, it's in the same color family at least. You couldn't tell Well, the ladder was balancing on this very wonky chunk of cement, very precariously. So I kind of didn't want to go up too high. It was just barely on there. And I'm terrified of heights, so. But it's in. Now I just have that one to do. All right, so the brackets they had at the store were not the same style that we kind of wanted. They're a little bit more frilly, more Western-y. So we concluded that maybe we could cut them off. And this is what they looked like before Eric got working on them.
You can order them squared like that, but if they were special order, these ones they had in stock.
That's the bracket. It's got just a weird little circle on the top. And it doesn't quite match our floor brackets here. So then this is what Eric did. He just chopped off the top.
And then I'm just
painting in the top.
Painting a little on the top.
Yeah. And that looks way better than that monstrosity right there. It's a little bit of a pain in the butt, but Eric's making it go pretty quick. Oh, you've got a light too. There it is.
So then it gets a little burr on the backside, so I'll take this and...
Or you can use a file. Yeah, I would have just taken a file to it, but that works too. Ooh, those aren't. Wow, that's loud. So here's what we have so far. I got all the screws in up there. We have to put the plates up there yet. This isn't done. This is just the face board. And then we're going to put another board on the back after we pull that board off. And then we're going to have a board that sits up in the center between them. So Eric went through and already cut all the nails from the center supporting board. So we're going to take the last few GRKs out and pop this board down so we can replace it with a new one. The new treated one. All right.
Ready?
Yep. Definitely it. I hope so. Which way are we going?
Oh.
Just a little too much. Alright, so I finished off the last of the hay. Probably covered in dirt, so I'm sorry. My battery's running low. I haven't had a chance to charge it. My geese are angry. But here's what we've gotten done. Eric's been working on a little bit of this by himself too. Man, my back is just grinding pretty good from holding this up over my head. But here's what we have. I think that looks a little bit better. So originally what they had planned was with the regular boards, they were going to take some of the roofing material and wrap it around the board so that it was covered, you know, because it wasn't treated. But this is all treated now, so this can be exposed to the elements. Plus it has that kind of cedarish, reddish wood look, which will kind of blend into the faux wood siding a little bit. Of course, you can't see with the shadows, but it does look a lot better. And this will tie into the pergola pretty nice too, because now we've got all this wood. Not that you can really see much of that wood from the road. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we should do regular roofing eyebrows, because that roofing material is really going to pop. It's going to add a nice...
Make it just like that?
Yeah, make it just like this. Because we can't see the roof anyway, and that'll give us more clues. I mean, people put that stuff on just for character and have a regular shingle roof. So I think if we make it just like that, that'll work.
Those will need.
All right, so we went through and we got the rest of the porch finished up. It's not done. So when I say finished, I mean we finished adjusting it. Let me show you. Yeah, look at that. Doesn't that look nice? So now we have the faux beam up there. It's extra thick, and you can tell it's just a little bit lighter than the other beams. And as I told Eric, we'll probably have to go through and put a stain on it or some sort of wood sealer, just because it is treated wood and it's stain treated, but it's not enough, I don't think. But the brackets look great. The adjustment that we did makes them look a lot more modern. I mean, still with the giant bolt holes, it still looks a little bit more timber frame-esque. But that's okay, because it still adds to the character, to the flair of the porch. Looking at the porch compared to the rest of the house, Eric's like, it's way too tiny. I'm like, well, we kind of couldn't just keep going forever. So it will look a lot different. We're going to have like some eyebrows over the porch, and then he wants to do one over the entry door too, which I think is going to be a little bit too busy, but I guess we can try it, maybe. And then, of course, we're going to have the faux wood grain siding right there on the corner. I'm so excited. Check this out. This is the faux wood siding trim. Yeah. Now, we could have gone with black trim around the black windows, and that would have made it pop. But I wanted a very, very minimalistic amount of black, because you can see we're going to have a lot of black already on the windows. We have the black door, and then the fascia up there is going to be black, but then the underside is going to be the same faux wood grain metal. It is going to look so awesome. And underneath here, we're doing the same thing, except we're going to use the planks from over here. I'm going to go underneath there too. So it's really, really going to have a lot of character. It's really going to pop. So definitely excited. I'm not sure when the I'm not sure when the builders are coming back. We are looking out with some amazing weather still, as you can see. Look how beautiful this weather is. This is amazing weather for the middle of September. But as you know, it's only going to be gone in the blink of an eye, and then we're going to have snow. Like literally we can go from 80 degrees, boof, down to 30 and snow all over the ground, which is usually what happens here in Michigan. So hopefully the builders will be back before that happens, and they can get all of the siding on so that they don't have to battle slippery snow while trying to put siding up. Thank you, Anthbot Genie. You're a real lifesaver. Ooh, I've been wanting one of these for so long. Actually, I don't know, was it last year or the year before? I thought to myself, you know, if they make robots that can clean your house, why can't they make a robot to mow your grass? Well, look what we have here today. We have an no joke, legit lawn mowing robot. Because we're on a farm, we need something that I don't have to put underground wires into my grass. A lot of the lawn mowing robots on the market require underground wiring. That's a no-no out here. And if you already are familiar with the channel, you're probably thinking in the back of your head, gee, Suzanne, couldn't you use that to mow around your Christmas trees? Of course I'm already thinking one step ahead. We ran into an issue this year with our Christmas trees that our current lawnmower is too big to fit down the rows without breaking off branches. That's a problem because they still have a couple years left of growing to do. This guy's a lot smaller. This guy can fit between the rows. So we're going to test him out and see what he can do. It's time to get started on reading the directions and getting this bad boy hooked up so we can get mowing this weekend.
All right, so all we're gonna do is we're just gonna scan this right here. We're gonna go ahead and click install. We're gonna scroll down to Anthbot install right here.
Create an account on our app using your email. Your email will be your special login, so do not lose it. You're also going to go ahead and secure it down using their special augured earth anchors. Choose a good spot for your base station, and you also have the RTK unit that connects into it. It lights up green to let you know if it's a suitable location and can receive satellite signal. For us, we're going to connect ours into the solar setup we have right here using a power station in the cooler. When starting your robot for the very first time, you're going to need to choose a security code, 4 digits. By default, it's 000, which is what we used for training purposes here. The single biggest difficulty I had during this entire session was connecting my Bluetooth. My phone is notorious for not liking to connect Bluetooth, and this was no different. But once we finally synced the two up, we were able to input the robot security code, which was 000, and then we could go through and click remote tracing for our perimeter. You're going to control it with 2 little joystick buttons. Now, controlling it with the 2 joystick buttons was simple and easy. However, the robot was very slow to move. It does mow a lot faster than this, but for some reason, when you control it with the joysticks, it just has slow as the option. The Anthbot Genie is able to mow about 4,000 square feet per day, so it's best suited for smaller yards or lawns or areas that you just really don't want to have to maintain yourself or can't get a lawnmower into. You can program it to mow at certain times of the day or certain days of the week, and it will automatically mow these areas entirely on its own and then go back and self-dock itself to recharge. One of the key features of this robot is that it is fully waterproof.
Oh, it seemed like it just stopped on its own. Oh, awesome. Huh, that was easier than my tractor.
Starting to recharge.
Okay. Look at that. See, it's doing this all on its own.
Starting to charge.
Okay, there we go.
The Anthbot Genie Pro uses RTK and quad vision technology to both determine its GPS location on the ground and to differentiate between grass and other plants that are a little bit too tall and should not be mowed. Here you can see it sensing the tall grass that I wasn't able to get under with my lawnmower, and it's actively avoiding it. You do want to be careful because it will remember these areas as areas it should not be traveling. So definitely make sure that all of your grass is mowed down very short before performing any maneuvers with your Anthbot Genie. The Anthbot Genie also has the capability of using something called ACC auto mapping, where the robot self-learns the perimeter. This option works best for solid states of fencing or other highly observable obstacles that the robot can sense and determine an automatic location for. Here you can see the robot is sensing the different obstacles both on the ground and to the side of it. Now there is always the risk that when you are using cutting edge technology like this in full display for the public, that somebody might be interested in stealing it. Luckily, the Anthbot Genie has updates that allow it to be tracked if it was stolen and will send you alerts on your phone if it leaves the service area. This budget-friendly RTK mowing robot is not available in stores. It is currently only available on the Kickstarter campaign. There's a link in the video description where you can go check it out and be on board with the new release of this model.
Alright, so while the builders are off working on a pole barn, it is our job to get HVAC, plumbing, and electricity into this house because that stuff has to be run before we can put the siding on. Now, I had no idea, and Eric really didn't think about this either, but those things have to be done before you put the siding on. Most houses do siding at the very end, but we know that letting this house wrap sit out here is going to be a bad story. We don't have zip strip on the house, so we need to get this thing covered before winter hits. Before we can cover it, we have to run the electric receptacles on the outside so they can frame around that. Before electric can be run, though, you have to run your plumbing and your HVAC. So everything that we really don't need right this second has to get done right this second. And we only have 2 or 3 weeks to get it done. So they can get their job done fast, but we still have stuff that we haven't figured out yet. But at least the HVAC guys, they don't need a lot of our coordination. So let's go take a look and see what they're doing today. All right, so the HVAC guys were out here already. I didn't even know they were coming today. They're getting to work on getting the HVAC installed. I'm guessing they were in here today installing cutting out some of the holes for the vents. So we've got a vent right here and a vent right here. All right, so I'm sure that doing this type of stuff gets boring really fast. So I have a couple ways to liven it up for them. One of them is my newest little pets, these little guys. Now these you can get like dirt cheap on Amazon. So we're gonna put these in a couple strategic locations and just wait for the magic to happen. Chances are good I'm not gonna be here to catch it, but I'll probably hear about it again later. So the first thing you want to do is find a spot where they're going to pick something up. You could put them underneath this. So we'll do it kind of like that. And then we'll set it up just like this. So they're just going to pick this up and be like, whoa. Oh, we've got some things that we can do. Front door is probably we'll revisit this later. So how long does it typically take to have all of the ductwork installed?
A week. Using the scissor joist, the way this is, it's a little different than normal from hanging down below it. I like it.
Well, little by little. So they're thinking they're gonna be done by the end of this week with this whole thing. And then once they're done, we have the plumber coming, I think later on this week. And then next week is electrical. Plumbing and electrical are the two that scare me the most because those require a lot more planning on our part. And by our part, I mean my part because I'm the one that's thinking through placement of stuff a little bit more. We still have to figure out where our island's gonna go because one of our island has a kitchen sink in it. So that has to have plumbing for water and a drain. Earlier, I was trying to figure out where everything's going to go in the guest bath. So we've got drains right here in water, drains right there in water. So this room is done too. This should have been caught on the blueprint plans and moved over slightly. Just like 2 inches would have done it. Hey, let me know what you would do. But the big one that's really stressing me out and really freaking me out because I have to get this figured out probably today. And I'm also not sure about, see, this is why I don't like stuff being so fast. Because in hindsight, this should have been on the other wall, not on this wall. Again, that's one of those things I'm not sure. Oh, all right, so it's pretty late. The HVAC and plumbing, they were working furiously all day today. I've just been pretty much trying to stay out of their hair because they're pretty focused in on their jobs, so don't want to bother them. But we'll sneak in here really quick and take a look at what they did before it gets too dark. Might be too dark, I don't know. We have plumbing, and this drain, this big pipe right here, is going all the way up to the ceiling. And you're probably wondering why the drain is going up to the ceiling. Well, the answer is this, because that is the air release for the plumbing, so it doesn't back up, so it can drain out. And yeah, so normally they would just drain these straight up through the roof, boop. But we don't want a million holes on our beautiful, expensive, nice metal roof, so we're venting it out through the soffit down there, and that's where it's gonna vent. I'm not exactly sure what happened here, but they busted this down. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be busted down or if that was an oopsie. So looking at the bath shower area, Eric decided he wanted the shower bath area, the wet bath, to be even bigger. So the problem was that the HVAC guys had stuck a heating vent right here in the closet wall. And that's where Eric wanted the bathroom wall to, in effective, end. So they had to pull that out, and now they're gonna run an HVAC unit under the vanity over here. We weren't even quite sure what we were going with the vanity. So the problem is that when you go through and you run plumbing and HVAC, you have to literally know everything going in your house. So we didn't know any of this stuff. We had no idea. We were just gonna kind of pick it out as we came up to doing those rooms. And apparently you can't do that. So we've been having to pick stuff on the fly. We don't have a unit for our vanity over here. We spent an entire week picking out a unit for the guest bath, which really didn't need to get picked out. You could just pick a size and tell them to plumb it for that size. But because the master bath can be so many different sizes and it matters, so we really should have picked everything out first before even thinking about the guest bath. But again, we thought this was one of those things that we could do down the road. It's not. So let's see what else we've gotten done. And then we're gonna have 2 spigots here, and then we're gonna have another spigot way up, 14 feet above. Just trust me on this. I know it's gonna sound crazy having a spigot 14 feet in the air, but we have our laundry room plumbed over here, second sink over there. All right, so it's been really chaotic this morning. We have the plumbing and the HVAC guys out here, and they're all battling issues. So I was trying to stay out of their hair for a little bit because, you know, don't need any more tension with me hanging around. So, oh wow. So now this has one filter. And then that would be the one that I would have to change out. And so it looks like it's in a drawer.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Okay. So that's not your standard size filter then? Because that's a lot.
It's a lot bigger.
Thicker.
Yeah. Yep. Everyone usually runs just a 1-inch one, but the size of your equipment requires this return air box, and that's what they come equipped with.
So where would I buy a replacement filter for that then?
Hardware store, or probably on Amazon. It's probably cheaper.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would change it every month.
Oh,
But-
jeez.
Yes.
All right, so we do have some spigots planned for the outside of the house too, because we definitely need water outside. And they're gonna put a hot and cold spigot in the garage. I think it's in the garage. Yeah, in the garage. So that we can bring animals in to wash them, aka the horses. Wash the horses in the garage. Yeah, but we have drains on the floor, so it works out pretty good. So we have ductwork right over here. Anyway, I'm sure they got to put something around that yet. We've got, this is an air exchange right here. So this is going to come up and out, I believe. That is the vent for the upstairs to make sure we can get air conditioning up there. We're probably not going to need that for heat because I'm sure that room's already going to be pretty toasty, but for air conditioning. All right, so we've got ductwork over there. So I'm just trying to figure out, there's no vents in the bathroom. So I'm assuming that must be, it's going to be an under cabinet vent, and so they haven't cut it through yet. We have the ceiling around the ductwork. They put the putty glue stuff on there. All right, so we've got ducting going up here and ducting coming down. And then we've got ducting there and there. And then this must be for the bedroom over here. And then we have a random broken 2x4. And I don't know if that was from plumbing, because plumbing is right here. Somebody broke the board in there. I don't know. Is that, whose job is it to fix that? I mean, yeah, we could go through and fix it ourselves, but I don't know. I guess I figure, in my thought, if you break something, you fix it. Look at all of our plumbing over there. Man,
Oops, sorry. So this is all of our plumbing. We've got an outside spigot over there. We've got all this coming down here. I don't see a vent run for the kitchen at all. So there's nothing in here for the kitchen. And I don't think I see anything run for the bathroom. What is that? Huh. That's different. Oh, maybe that's for the heat pump. I'm guessing that's for the heat pump. Wow, so there's still a lot that they have to do. And then we've got this thing right here. So they've got that. It looks like this must have to get hooked up with something too. I mean, they do have to hook up gas to this somewhere, but we've got some pipes in here. Manuals. That's kind of nice that they have that. It's going to get wired up. We don't have electric runs, so interesting. They give you some short wires. Interesting. That's kind of nice because that just plugs in. That's the water heater. So one of the things that we noticed with the hutch is that it needed to come down towards the end of the wall. It was kicked in probably about 4 inches. And if you look right here, you can see that our pathway between the fridge and the hutch is a little bit small. And then the concern was just the pantry door tucking behind the fridge right there. All right, so we got everything laid out on the ground. Now, even though the space looks massive, like many barndos, the space gets tiny really quick. So this is what we've laid out. I've got my camera stands over each island. Yes, we have 2 islands. Again, this is a used kitchen set. It wasn't something I would have just thought of myself, but yeah, so this one has the sink and this one has the bar. And we've got a hutch back there. What we came up with right here is because this is a standard size fridge, and see how it sticks out in front of the pantry, and it's just kind of a zigzag in here to get in. So Eric had the idea of having a slim profile refrigerator. Counter depth is what he calls it, and that will match the profile of the counters right here and just create a more streamlined effect, because we do have the space back there for the additional fridge / freezer, so we'll just have 2 in here, which is kind of what we were planning for anyway. So one of the other things we're noticing, if we look down here, so our CAD lady, this is the original hallway that she had made up, and it was supposed to come all the way up to, sorry, my hands are dirty, right here. But then Eric had the idea to bump the master bedroom in. What did we do, 2 feet on that? It was about 2 feet, which is significant, but it opened up this hallway area to flow a lot better. Now this one kitchen island does bump out a little bit, which is kind of a bummer, but then we're able to kind of bump it back in with this one right here. So it does kind of flow out a little bit. And then over here we have our dining room set. So the main issue we want to keep resolved is that when guests come in, they're not gonna be like right on top of furniture. So even though we're gonna have some bar stools right there and some chairs right here, they still have a little bit of space to be able to walk in without being on top of something. And like I said, it looks big in here, but there's gonna be more chairs right here and then chairs right there. So it's gonna shrink down a lot pretty quick.
That keeps beeping. Like some kind of electronic device making a beeping noise.
Like your phone?
No, it's not my phone.
So first, you're telling me that the smoke detector is going off, and now you're telling me that something's beeping.
There's some beeping.
You see lights outside too?
Do you hear it?
That's the smoke detector.
That's not the smoke detector, dude.
It's coming from right
No, it
there.
wasn't coming from right there.